FNAF 3 takes place 30 years into the future and is the true sequel to the first FNAF game. Here, the story of the tragedies that have taken place at Freddy Fazbear's Pizza had become sort of an urban legend, and an unnamed company had decided to capitalize on them by creating their own horror attraction called Fazbear's Fright. While the entire place is decked out in Fazbear memorabilia, like empty costume heads, kids' drawings, and arcade machines, the company is looking for the one thing that can sell this attraction to have it be authentic: an animatronic. In this game, we assume the role of an unnamed night guard who's tasked with keeping an eye on this place the week before it opens. Our main duty is to ensure nobody breaks in and nothing catches on fire. In their attempt to make this place feel vintage, they pulled out all the stops, including the outdated equipment, which is why everything here feels unreliable and dangerous, and also explains how the mechanics of this game work. This office is wide, as we would need to move all the way to the right to access the camera system that now has a camera system for the vents, and all the way to the left to access the maintenance panel to reboot systems that may go offline, the audio, camera, and most importantly, the ventilation, as well as a reboot all button. Also, once this place opens up, we would also play the role as the actual security guard that is also part of the attraction, keeping watch in case someone steals something or people making out in the corner. The first night, nothing actually happens, meaning that it's impossible to die. Instead, the night is dedicated to helping the player get used to the mechanics, as well as dump the exposition as previously mentioned. But it is worth mentioning that the person on the phone telling us this information is named Phone Dude, since he speaks with a surfer accent, using words like man and dude.
Release the focus!
It is only the second night when the main threat is introduced: Springtrap. According to Scott in his interview with Daco, he said that he wanted FNAF 3 to feel more personal, like a one-on-one, mano-y-mano, and yeah, that's exactly what he did. In essence, this game feels like the final boss, which will be explained later. Anyways, Springtrap is this moldy and horrifying looking rabbit animatronic that was sealed away in the back room of the FNAF 1 location, which will be explained shortly, that has now been released into the building. Don't exactly know why the people who found him didn't notice the corpse rotting inside of him and all of his internal organs visible through the holes in his suit. But anyways, unlike the first two games, the place that he will spawn in every night is random, meaning that the camera system is mandatory to help you survive the nights, since you need to keep track of his position. But how are you supposed to stop him from entering the office? Well, you need to use the audio decoy to lure him around the building. The key is to find him and lure him from room to room. The farther away he is, the better your chances of survival are. But, as originally brought up, the equipment you're using is faulty, and as expected, these systems can go offline. Without the camera system, you might lose sight of Springtrap, allowing him to make his way towards you undetected. Without the audio, you can't lure Springtrap around. And without the ventilation, well, you're gonna start seeing things.
Am I supposed to be? Hey! I'm alive!
That's right, your animatronic buddies from the previous titles are back in the phantom form. Should you get jump scared by any of them, you won't die, but certain systems will go offline, allowing Springtrap to get the upper hand should things not go your way. It is worth mentioning that while all the phantoms use their FNAF 2 forms, Chica uses her FNAF 1 form. Once a system goes offline, say if it is overused or you get attacked by a phantom, you need to pull up the maintenance panel, located to your left, to reboot the systems. May the gods have mercy on you if you accidentally click the wrong item to reboot, or if you have multiple systems offline at a time.
Where did he come from? Where did he go? Where did he come from? Canajo. Him on me, Mabanabo. Get the fuck back there right now. I don't have space for you. Oh my god, all my systems are failing. He's not good.
But what if Springtrap isn't visible on the cameras? Well, that means two things. Either A, he's right outside your office, or B, he's crawling through the vent system. Remember how I said that you can toggle between the hallway cameras and vent cameras? Yeah, Springtrap can access the office through the vents undetected. It's just a matter of finding him before it's too late. Unlike the hallway cameras, there is no audio lure in the vents. Instead, you need to find him and seal off the correct vent before he crawls through. In the office, there are two ways he can get in, either through the left doorway or through the vent on the right. Once he jump scares you, it's game over. And this only gets harder as the game progresses. complete with the systems failing much more frequently. Now we can finally talk about the story. In Night 2, after Phone Dude happily reports that they found an actual animatronic, he leaves the player with vintage training audio that he dubs as prehistoric. And lo and behold, the audio is Phone Guy, who is giving a training session to employees regarding the nature of the spring-lock animatronic suits, special suits that double as both animatronic and wearable costumes. How a human being were to wear these would be to use the hand crank provided by the manufacturer to safely coil the endoskeleton off to the side. Once inside, the user would have to be very careful not to get any moisture onto the spring locks holding the endoskeleton off to the side, otherwise the locks will fail, causing the endoskeleton to be reset into its position, impaling anyone unfortunate enough to be inside, killing them slowly. If this were the case, the user would have to enter the back room, dubbed the safe room, of the establishment and bleed out as to not ruin customer experience. He also brings up that in every location, there is a designated safe room that is not in the digital map layout that is programmed into the animatronics and is hidden from the cameras and the public eye. On Night 4, it is explained that thanks to multiple spring lock failures in the sister location, the spring lock suits are deemed too dangerous to use. Yeah, no duh! And as such, the company had provided replacement costumes on short notice to be worn instead, and instructed employees to not touch the spring lock suits. And on Night 5, the purpose of the safe room is explained to not be a break room for employees to hide in and congregate, and that no customer should be inside. But more importantly, the spring body costume had noticeably been moved. And on Night 6, it is explained that the safe rooms in all the locations are to be sealed off, with work crews showing up first thing in the morning to construct a false wall over the door that leads inside, and that every employee is to not talk or mention anything regarding the safe rooms to family, friends, or anyone else. In between each night, you get to play through an Atari-style minigame, wherein you control one of the four main animatronics, Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, and Foxy, and you are tasked with following Shadow Freddy through the location, which is based on the FNAF 1 location. You can also choose not to follow him if you wish, but this minigame will always end with the player following Shadow Freddy to the back room, which is inaccessible since an error message will be displayed. Remember how Phone Guy brought up that the safe room is invisible to animatronics since it is not programmed in their digital map layout? Yeah, that's why. Going back will result in Purple Guy attacking your animatronic, dismantling them, and ending the minigame. It is worth mentioning that in the East Hall, where Bonnie and Foxy would pass in the first game, that there are these cryptic hints in the wall, like this sequence of numbers or 4 gray cupcakes. We'll talk more about these later. Lots of "we'll explain later" in this video. Anyways, this changes on the 5th night, wherein we get to control the spirit of a crying child. And since we're a ghost, we can phase through the previously blocked off safe room, where we meet up with 4 other ghost children who have cornered the Purple Guy, the latter panicking. As the 5th child, we are able to scare him across the room until he takes refuge inside the Spring Bonnie costume. As he puts it on and laughs, thinking he's won, the spring locks suddenly fail as blood gushes everywhere. Remember how sensitive these spring lock suits were, and how Phone Guy brought up that the Spring Bonnie suit had been moved? The entire place has rain seeping down from the ceiling and rats roaming around.
That is fucking disgusting.
And this suit had been sitting in a puddle for who knows how long. As he collapses, the spirits of the children fade away and the minigame ends, thus revealing that we have been facing off against the Purple Guy the entire time. Remember how I said that this game feels like you're facing off against the final boss? In the first 2 games, we've survived against Purple Guy's victims that have been haunting these suits, but now in FNAF 3, it is us versus the main big bad and pure evil of the series, the man that started it all. Karma managed to bite him in the butt since he had piloted the suit to lure and slaughter innocent children and stuff their bodies in the suit to avoid detection, only for him to be killed and haunt the suit that he had used to commit his crimes. This is where things get interesting. In the first 2 FNAF games, upon completion of the 5th night, we are awarded with our check. But here in FNAF 3, we are presented with either the bad ending or the good ending, making this the first FNAF game with 2 separate endings after beating the first 5 nights. The bad ending is what most players would get on their first playthrough. The 4 main animatronic heads, with a 5th one in the back, representing Golden Freddy, have a light in one of their eyes, representing that the spirits possessing the suits have not been put to rest yet, despite their killer dying before their eyes. To get the good ending, you need to find and play through each of the secret minigames. Remember those cryptic hints found in the East Hall? Yeah, Those are there to tell you what you have to do to access those minigames, which are only available on the next night with a few exceptions. In order to beat these minigames, you need to glitch them to find and give birthday cake to crying children in each one. I recommend checking out YouTuber The Baddest video on the minigames since he broke down each of them better than we can. Anyways, upon beating all of them and completing the 5th night, we get the good ending. Now, all of their eyes are off, and what are left are the soulless heads of the characters. The souls of the purple guy's victims were set free, all thanks to your efforts. FNAF 3 is also the first game to introduce the extras menu, wherein we can see a gallery of the animatronics by completing the game with the bad ending, the ability to play through the hidden minigames upon getting the good ending, a jump scares viewer, which you can get by getting the bad ending, and the cheats menu upon getting the good ending. We also have unlocked Nightmare Mode, aka Night 6, where things are a lot harder, and upon beating that mode, we get a newspaper article that explains that the FNAF 3 location had burned down to the ground, with the possible explanation being faulty wiring, and that the various pieces of memorabilia that have been salvaged are to be auctioned off. By brightening the image, we can also see what happened to Springtrap. As he had survived the fire, he always comes back after all. Fun tidbit, by enhancing the text surrounding the newspaper article, we get some behind-the-scenes info from Scott himself, like how the names Freddy, Bonnie, and Chica were all placeholder names for the characters, but Scott liked them so much that they became their canon names. By getting the bad ending, we earn 1 star on the menu, and by getting the good ending, we get the 2nd star. To unlock the 3rd star, you need to activate the aggressive cheat in the extras menu, and beat Nightmare Mode with that enabled, which is the hardest challenge in FNAF 3. Yeah, there's no custom night, making this the first game in the series to not have one. While the ending is still the same with that newspaper article, we unlock the 3rd and final star, representing mastery of the game. While FNAF 3 was supposed to be the final game in the series since Scott originally envisioned it as a trilogy, and it had a good story that wrapped it up, leaving points for future discussions, the only problem he had with it was the reception, namely Springtrap's jump scare. Realizing that this would leave the series on a bit of a sour note, he decided he wasn't done yet. After this, we got another teaser on Scott's website showing Freddy's top hat under a spotlight before another one that has it gone. And then, we got this.